What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the 411 podcast, Tuesday, May 3rd. I have my friend coming in the building tonight, Mr. Jacquees Washington. We're going to have some real good conversation tonight. So, man, it's like night after night after night, nothing but powerhouse type conversation. So, you're going to get a lot of that tonight here on the 411 podcast. So, what I need you to do right now, if you're out there on Facebook, if you're out there on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, go ahead and tag your friends and let them know what we got going on inside the 411 podcast tonight. Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, do it all. I want to say very special thank you to the people who have been supporting on YouTube. So please go ahead and check me out at Laren Gaines on YouTube. We're going to go on a ride. We're going to go on a journey tonight. 411 podcast. So we come up to I Can't Believe 112 featuring Faith Evans, 1996 off of the 112 album. I've been listening to 112 lately. I ended up playing that Only You, and from there I was like, all right, let me go and check out this album. I remember so many joints off of this album. Cupid, Only You, of course, the Only You remix, both of them with Notorious B.I.G. Why is such a dope song. And then we come right here with I Can't Believe. When I first heard this song, just the weight of Faith, her angelic voice all over top of that, and the combination between 112 and Faith has always been amazing. But we're going to go ahead and flip it 411 style, you know how we do it. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, or when you get to that point where you're asking yourself, man, I can't believe that this has happened. Have you ever been in a situation where someone has done something to you and it came out of the blue, it came out of nowhere, and all you could do is just sit back and say, I can't believe. I can't believe. One thing that I've learned, and I have to keep, saying this time and time again, and I have to keep reminding myself again that sometimes that these things are just experiences and they are just life lessons that we need to learn. Don't stay hung up on I can't believe for too long. Yes, it might be a situation where you can't believe, but trust and believe, just like we spoke last night. Once you understand and you actually believe it, the blessing is right around the corner. But for those of you who may not be at that point, I get it. It's not easy. It's easier said than done. Just don't get to that point where you stay stuck. Oh man, I can't believe they did this, they did that. Why? It's part of the plan. It's part of the process. But for the moment, for the people out there who can't believe, this song might be for you. 112 featuring Faith Evans, 1996 off of the 112 album. I Can't Believe. Happens to some of the best of us. But stick around because we got something for you to help you if you've ever gone through these situations or might be in it today. We got something for you to help you out on the other side. But before we do that, I need to go ahead and give a very special thank you to my guest last night, Miss Carnisha. She came through and was amazing conversation. I hadn't laughed and had such a good time on a 4-1 in a very long time. Just that chemistry just made sense. So if you want to understand what we went through, last night, please go ahead and check out that replay. Also want to give a very special shout out to my brother, Mr. Nate Perry, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you so much for supporting Jason T. Davis from California and Mr. Alex Coquito, all the way from Puerto Rico. If you want to check me out on Saturday nights, Midnight Vibes, check out Alex Coquito on YouTube. Go ahead and follow him, Alex Coquito, on YouTube, and you can see yours truly every Saturday night on his show, Midnight Vibes. Miss Shanti Refuge, I want to say thank you so much, and a very special thank you to Angela. Custom Creations, Scars of Survival Magazine, thank you for coming through as well. The Dream Team Strategist, Onyx Blade. I met Onyx Blade through Alex Coquito, so you never know with these connections and combinations that we have going on. And I want to give a very special shout out to Will Serve. Thank you for supporting on Facebook and Instagram. And I also want to say thank you to the newcomers who've come along and have, checked out the show and maybe sticking around for a minute. I just want to say thank you so much for all of the love and support across all of the different platforms, wherever you're at. I just want to say thank you so much. Could not do it without each and every one of you. You don't know how much a like, comment, or share goes a very long way. And I just want to say thank you so much. All right. Now it's time to rewind this thing. We spoke about this last night. So, what has been your experience when hitting rock bottom? And if you have hit rock bottom, because sometimes it happens to some of the best of us. What's going on, Mr. Will? How you doing out there? If you've hit rock bottom, what has been the process like? What has been your experience like when you climb back up to the top? I will tell you that it's an experience for a lot of people. And I hit rock bottom 2020. That's how the 411 podcast got started. And I will tell you that the climb up has been very interesting. And one thing that I've learned from it is that, do you ever really stop climbing? I think when you get too comfortable and you start to feel yourself just a little bit too much, that's when you start to tread on some shaky grounds here. So the climb up has been interesting. I'm still climbing up. Each and every day I have to continue to climb, and I got to keep pushing to make it work. I would not go back at all. Take all of these experiences for what they are today. I've learned that this is part of the process. This is part of the plan. There's no coincidence that we are going through every single thing that we're going through right now. No coincidence that somebody out there who's listening to this right at this moment is listening to it. It's part of my evolution going through everything that I've gone through. And that's what my experience is like. And the climb is never over. It's never done. We got to keep rocking and we got to keep rolling. The minute that you lay down, somebody going to run right over top of you and just keep it moving. So you got to keep working on it. But during that process, when you're on your way up, it's all about this. It's all about how strong is your support system. Got to have a good support system to make it work. And when I say support system, for me, it starts with self first. Yes, I have so many people who love me and supported me during this process, and without them, I don't think I'd be able to be here. God will place certain people in your life for a reason to make it work for you. But for me, none of this would all come together. None of this would all work if I didn't have a great support system, and it starts within self first. I got to wake up every single day and say, you got this. We doing this. We doing that. This is what we're not going to do. This is what we're going to put up with. This is what we ain't going to put up with. These are the people that I'm going to embrace that have been surrounded by me. People come into your life, right? Because these are experiences and this is life. But people stay. People will stay in your life based on how you treat them. How strong is your support system? What do you do to nourish and encourage and build upon the people that God has put into your life to help get you through, help you get over to the next level? When I tell you that we got some real life conversations that's really going to be going on here tonight, you really want to go ahead and tag your friends invite them into the 411 podcast, especially if you know somebody's going through something, especially if you know somebody is trying to come up out of something. This might be something that they might get from either myself or my guest tonight that might help them break through to the next level. Welcome on in. Mr. Jacquees Washington's coming through, and we're going to talk about healthy mindsets. We're going to talk about getting it together and some of the things that you need to do to stay on track. Like I said, it ain't easy. You got your ups, you got your downs, you got your peaks, you got your valleys. It's life. This is what happens. Reach out to my special guest, see what he has going on in his neck of the woods today.
Hello.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good, good. Welcome to the 411 podcast. Of course, I know that you've been here before, so I want to check in and see how things have been going.
Yeah, things have been going pretty well. Pretty good. Son was born about 2 months ago, a month and a half ago.
Congratulations on that. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mr. Joe Calico is in the building tonight. What's going on? Brooklyn, New York, what's good? So let everyone know where you're calling from.
I'm calling from El Paso, Texas now.
So you moved now.
Yeah, moved back home.
Mm-hmm.
Had to leave Montana. Decided little man had to be a Texan, not a Montana.
So that was funny because as I was getting ready for the show, I was like, we getting ready to have some laughs. Because I remember it was somewhere, but I didn't know where it was, but I knew it was somewhere way out there. So moved back to Texas. Now, what was the difference between Montana versus Texas? Why you didn't want to, raise your family in Montana?
Honestly, family is a lot closer out here. I'd love to have family around. You get to grow up around that.
Mm.
And also, um, I'd like him to grow up around a little bit of diversity.
Mm. So, what led you out to go to Montana in the first place?
I had the company that I had worked for with my wife. They had opened up a facility,
Mm-hmm.
and they had asked us if we wanted to go out there and help train some of the new employees. So that's what brought us out there in the first place. We didn't end up staying there long after. Pursued different things and saw different opportunities. And eventually that place ended up shutting down.
Oh, it shut down.
Shut down during COVID. Yeah.
And what, did it never open back up?
Never opened back up.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, it's COVID was a different beast.
Yeah, we're not even gonna get into that because it's like limbo right now, which I don't know what's gonna happen in a couple months, but we'll just leave that alone for now.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to jinx it.
It ain't no jinxing. It's reality. Trust and believe. People need to be very careful.
That's very true. Especially with them lifting everything up.
Like I said, all of the things that have been put in place that help create our new norm, they ain't spent all that money and they didn't spend all that time and energy in installing certain things and creating certain things for it to just go away just like that. So
that's true. That's actually very true.
you need to be prepared for the ride because that's what's getting ready to happen again. It'll be up and down, up and down, up and down, and this is the new way of life. So
yeah, that's unfortunate.
So now I know I talked to you a little bit before about mental health. This is the month, Mental Health Awareness Month here. So I know you wanted to spend some time educating people on changing your mindset, which I'm right there with you. I wrote a book about, a journey towards a healthier mindset. And my concept behind it is it's great to say, these things, and it's great to speak these affirmations, but I don't necessarily think that we truly get there 100%. So I didn't want to say that, all right, we're here, we got a healthier mindset. This is a journey towards a healthier mindset. So, what is your take on, you know, that whole process with the changing the mindset? Do you really get it 100%, or is it always something you have to work on?
I believe it's something that you have to work on daily. We're faced with different challenges every day, but nothing really remains the same.
Mm.
So if you're, changing your mindset as it is, and then something comes in and completely challenges that mindset that you're, developing, do you stick with it, or do you find a new way to adjust and think? So I believe that it's things you have to work on daily. Just as you have to continue to grow and develop, year to year, month to month, day to day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a constant flow of things, because your mindset's not this, set in stone kind of thing. It's very fluid. You have to be able to respond to different ways, and that comes with adjusting your mindset, day to day. Someone may come along the way and completely change the way you think and just blow you away.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, you're forced to just rethink and rewire your brain and how you're thinking at that point in time.
I think I'm at that point now in my life where I had to actually change something, and it happened a couple times. Um, and I want to talk to you about some things that you do to help, change your mindset. But you said something that really hits home. Like, you could be minding your business, right? And you can say, "Oh, great, I got this. I am this. I am that. I'm going to be this. I'm living in a moment." And life will just come up and smack you upside the head out of nowhere. And you could be in a good positive mindset, like we thought we had this, but all of a sudden, something happens that will challenge. That's what you said, challenge the way that you think. And I think for me, I had to learn how to get my ego in check, because my ego was out of control for such a very long time. And I had someone important to me say, you need to, check your ego. And I had to do some research and figure out, what all of that meant, because, you hear it and it's in one ear and out the other. But I just learned that, wow, this is an experience, this is a process here. I need to separate myself from this situation. Nothing from the outside can hurt me. Nothing can destroy anything. Why am I letting this situation upset me right now because it presented itself? That's outside of me and that has nothing to do with me. So that's one of the things that I use to help keep myself in check and keep my mindset on the right path. But trust and believe is every single day, because the minute that you get yourself in check, the other side of you is like, no, I'm stepping up to the front. I got this. It's like this internal battle that you have within self as far as which way we're going to go sometimes.
It really is. And when you say it like that, it makes me think of, you got the angel on the one hand, you got the devil on the other. Hey, what are we doing here? And I remember there's in psychology it's referred to as the super ego, and the id. And the id's supposed to be the more primal. The ego is us as who we view ourselves now. The
Right.
super ego is what we aspire ourselves to be. So it's a constant battle. It's a daily thing. Because typically speaking, we do want to give it to old habits because it's easier. It's what we know. Mm-hmm. We're comfortable doing it, and it's as simple as if someone comes up to you, or someone were to come up to me, and they wanted to start pressing me. Mm-hmm. My old habit, what I used to do, would initially be like, you know what, let's do this, man. Like I'm not gonna waste any time. And, but now I'm just you know what, man? I don't know what's going on with you, but I hope you have a blessed day, man. I'll see you later. You know,
So someone comes up to you and they want to, start something, you're quick to back down and keep it moving.
I mean, I'm just gonna try to like de-escalate. It doesn't work, then all right, man. I'll see you later. Because I don't have the time to engage in silly things like that anymore. And I used to allow myself the excuse of, well, I got time. And now it's more so, well, no, I don't.
Time is the most important asset that we have, and yet we constantly give it up for free to people who are just so undeserving of the time that you have because you can never get it back.
Never, no matter how hard you try. And that's one of the biggest things too. If you're going to invest time, getting into it with somebody or getting upset about things outside of your control or outside of your range of control and all that stuff, you could spend that same energy working on yourself, investing time on yourself, whether it be physically, spiritually, mentally, financially even. You can spend so much more time investing in that rather than wasting that energy. You're sending it to places that, like you said, doesn't really deserve it.
So now you are this. I've been using this word guru lately. So you are I'm gonna call you this fitness guru. You started to change your life around. You said that you weren't always into fitness. Is that correct?
That's 100% correct.
So then you changed it around, and this is part of helping you keep a healthier mindset. This is one thing that you do. For me, which is so strange because I never knew that it would be this way, but for me to have a healthy mindset, it's through, my content that I create here. I come out here and I speak about things, and I speak about real life situations, and I process everything both, before and after the show. So this is part of helping me keep a healthy mindset and trust and believe I have come leaps and bounds as far as who I am today versus who I was yesterday. So what are some other things that you do to help, keep you on, a healthy mindset path?
Yeah. So outside of fitness, I really try to. How can I put this? I really just try to invest as much time as I possibly can into further growth and development for myself, so I can, just find different ways to learn. I feel like that's one thing that just keeps me steady. I just love to learn. There's so much out there. I know I don't know everything, but I know I can't know everything. But I would love to learn as much as I possibly can, and not just keep it to myself, but give it out to others as well.
Absolutely.
That's one thing that I love to do. And also I try to keep myself as busy as possible. Not to distract myself, just so I know that I'm accomplishing, at least a little bit of something. And so I'll wake up and I'll have a goal. I want to complete this by, well, not by this time, but that's, yeah. So I would like to complete this by 3 p.m. So I give myself that, extended deadline, because I know if I tell myself you have 1 hour to do this, I can guarantee that I'm not going to get it done, because that's too much pressure for me to put onto myself. Because I feel like whenever I do something, I want to truly enjoy it, and I want that time to pass by, because I don't even want to think about the time. I just want to
enjoy what you're doing. Yeah. I was going to say, some people say not to even look at the clock. Like people who are really into what they're doing, I've heard that some people don't even look at the clock; they just stay away from it. I know Queen Dawn Spirit says time that doesn't exist. I'm like, well, the clocks keep rolling, but you saying it don't exist. But I get it though. Some people just have that. Some people don't even wake up from an alarm clock because they just get up at the right time and they just go with the flow. So, are you that type of person, or you gotta still go through the
I,
process?
I'm typically an early bird.
You get it,
You can pick up at about like 6 a.m., 6:30.
and you just get up like that, or you gotta have an alarm
I,
clock.
I just wake up, hop in the shower, and I'll start getting dressed. My wife will be like, "What are you getting dressed for?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting dressed for my day.
That is so
Just
important
make
too.
sure.
Like routine. That will help you keep a healthy mindset of staying in a routine. So if that's what you do every day, every morning, stick with it. That's one of my biggest, uh, you know, things that I have to give out there as far as advice. Who cares if you get up at this hour and you get dressed and that's what you do and you have your coffee or you do whatever? Keep with it. Consistency is going to be the key to help you change that thing around. And there will be some times where you are on the right path and you got it going and you're on your routine. And sometimes your mind is like, you could just sleep in a little bit, or you don't have to do this. How about we do that? Do you have to fight that, or does that
Yeah,
not?
yeah, no, absolutely. The times that does happen, I'm just like, man, just 5 more minutes, man. Or like, hey, you can just just do one less rep or four less reps. Like
Uh,
you'll be
yeah.
like you'll get the same results.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Mm-hmm.
I got to kick my own ass. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, you better shut up and you better get this
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things though is some people ask like how do you stay motivated? And the God's honest truth is that you're not always going to be motivated. Sometimes you just you need to get something done,
Mm-hmm.
so you get it done. And even if you're not motivated at that point in time, but you just got to get it done because in the long run, and that's the thing with fitness and that mindset, changing that and mental health is a lot of times you're gonna come up and like I said, it's very fluid. You're gonna be up, you're gonna be down sometimes, but when you push through, that's what gets you to that long term goal that you set up in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's what helps get you to that point is knowing like I may be feeling a little down and not as motivated as I was yesterday or an hour ago,
Mm. Yeah.
but I get this done and I'm just that much closer to what I want to accomplish.
Now, when you are in the gym, whatever you got going on, what do you have playing in your ear? Is there certain types of music or are there motivational things that you have playing at the time?
You asked me if I have motivational things playing in my ear.
Yeah, like are you listening to certain people? You got certain music that you listen to? What do you have in your ear at the time?
All right. So right now, I'm currently listening to Vince Staples and Pusha T's new albums that just came out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but majority of the time, I try to listen to very lyrical, like hip hop music, very positive and positive in a way, like not the positive music they're talking about now, like where it's like, oh, hey guys, go, take this pill and you'll be happy. No, I'm talking about the like Coda the friend. He's out there. He's from the Bronx, and he's amazing. The messages he delivers, talking about um, different obstacles to overcome, how to overcome them, and what's on the other side, of being down. that really does help me when I'm in the gym, because sometimes I'll see the weight and my workout partner is like, "You got it." I'm like, dog, I don't know. But then there's part of me trying to put myself down. Then I got to like remind myself, like, hey, it looks like someone said this right here, and I think about that. I'm like, you know what? I got it. I can do it.
So, how often do you really have to get with yourself? You know, all of these, we talked about the affirmations and the positive speaking, and I get it. We all want to be, I am this, I am, handsome, I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm everything. And that's fine. But sometimes, because I have it with myself, where I actually will go back and forth with this internal thing. And some of these conversations are not nice. Do you have to get with yourself sometimes where you actually really have to like go in and have those internal conversations that are not nice? Like, I'm not going to repeat some of the things that I have to tell myself, but it's like, listen, and there are a couple of words in there. You done been through this shit before. You're not going to do it again. So what? You want to lay down? You want to repeat the same stuff again? Or are you going to get up and keep this moving? Do you know who the F you are? Like, there are some times where I have to really get with myself like that. Like, look at the stuff that you've been through and then look where you're at now. And you think you're really going to give up today after all of this? So is that...
Yeah, that's definitely something that I probably do that about like I'd probably say like once a week, even when it's not needed, just because I've just got to remind myself. It's kind of like how you said, like, do you know who you are?
I believe that a lot of us struggle with not knowing who the hell we are, and that's half the problem is because we don't know who we are.
And it's a difficult thing because like for me, it took me years to get to where I am now, and for me to actually be able to say like, okay, so this is who I am, and
oh, that has been a long time since we had a call drop. So we can go ahead and reach out to him again. What's going on, Shar? How you doing out there? I seen Will out there on D Live. Thank you so much for the people that come in. I appreciate you. And we'll go ahead and reach out to Mr. Jacquees again and see what's going on.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, it's been a minute since we had a call drop on here.
Oh, maybe it's just the fact that I'm back in Texas. I don't know.
So,
but yeah, like I was saying, it took me a while to get to where I am, and just in general, when someone doesn't know who they are, they're more likely to just fall back into old habits and what's comfortable, or just follow the next thing, instead of just doing their own thing. And that's what we're... Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I feel like that's one thing that we're seeing, nowadays with the whole social media thing is someone does one thing, and then all of a sudden you have a collective of individuals who are doing it, and then you have a mass amount of individuals who are doing it. And they fall into it. It's like a repetitive thing.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's one of those conversations that I got to have with myself. Like I sit down and I tell myself like, yo, dude, we're not doing this. You're better than that. And like you said, you've been through this before. You know how to think about it. What's the difference in this situation? So I really do try to assess it. And then as soon as I do, it's like, okay, so let's approach it this way, then let's move forward. But we're not doing this shit again.
You know what it is? It's the mind. The mind is so clever, but it's also tricky, and it's in some cases it can be pretty evil. Like,
oh yeah,
we are so powerful, and we are so important that our mind is the most intelligent thing on this planet, right? But it could actually do us in sometimes. So you beat it, you beat it, you beat it, and you have a great day, and you're like, great, I conquered it. I had a wonderful day. Ain't nothing bring me down. I'm on point. But then while you're thinking that, your brain is like, all right, I got you. You think you won? Tomorrow I got something for you. I'm gonna make you start thinking crazy again. Like I'm gonna make you forget about how you had all of these wonderful successes and all of this. I'm gonna remind you about something that happened 10 years ago and sting you a little bit and see if you fall into the trap. Like,
and that's part of dealing with and healing trauma
yeah,
too. And that goes way deeper into, are you genuinely content, with yourself in your life at that point in time, and are you coping with it appropriately?
I I would say that the ego will never be content. You'll always want more. You'll always want better. Nothing is never going to be enough. You can tell yourself all of those great things like I'm happy, I'm this, I'm that, but then you're going to get in the way of yourself and say, I need more. I want this. I want that. That's what I feel. I personally feel. I've seen it happen with myself with certain things. When I get to this point, I'm going to be happy and I'm going to be cool. And then all of a sudden I get here and I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
we want more. This is not yeah, we want more. Like what's good with this? So that's the scary part though.
yeah, it's scary to think about because is it greed, or is it because of the way society is structured? It's one of the two things, because it's kind of crazy because we're always like, well, when's the next iPhone coming out, or when's the next this coming out? Because it's always being pushed out that something new is on the way.
Yeah, yeah.
So whatever you have right then and there, it's not enough anymore. All of a sudden, it's obsolete, and I feel like
Ooh.
people like us have kind of started to look at ourselves as the same thing. We see others on social media now because we see so many other people now,
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, wow. So is what I'm doing not enough? Then I need to do more.
Yeah.
And at first it can be healthy and it can be toxic.
Yeah, it most certainly can. When it comes to social media nowadays, I do what I got to do, and I'm out. I'll do what I got to do, and I'm out. I'm out. I can't be bothered with it. I ain't gonna be sitting there scrolling through my phone hours on end. I can't do it. And then I do see things that people do, and I say, yeah, absolutely not. Not doing that. But I wonder if the human mind will ever really be content, because you're always going to see something out there that's bigger and better, and you're always going to be trying to compare yourself, whether you do it um, intentionally or not. It's there.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those things where you kind of you can win, but then you can't win, and it's just the way that the human mind structured. If we can find a way to be better and do better, then that's exactly what's going to happen. But if it's I want this to make me happier, or things like that, then I can't see the mind being content.
So now that we know that it is not easy, if that even makes sense, now that we know that it's not easy, certain things that I do, and I want you to, fill in and share with people too. Certain things that I do to help combat this, because it is a constant battle in my mind personally, based on some of the things that I've been through. Um, Typically, when you go through a lot of stuff in the past, traumatic things, your your journey is going to be a little rocky and shaky, which we've all been through some things, some worse than others, but more positive than negative. I limit who I speak to. I limit the type of stuff that I listen to. And if I am surrounded by a lot of negativity, I combat that because I pour more positive stuff into my brain versus the negative. You're going to get negative. You're going to come across people. It's just, you can't hide it. But what do you do to reprogram your brain? What do you do to change the situation around? And for me, it's more positive in versus negative. Years ago, it was always negative and less positive, and that's why it didn't work for me. So now that I was able to switch it around through my spiritual growth and everything like that, I have to maintain it. And for me, it's all positive stuff versus what I'm looking at. I don't even watch TV half the time, and if I do, I'm making sure that it's positive stuff. Um, Music, some of the music and the lyrics that I listen to, I have to catch myself sometimes because everything that you listen to and everything that you come across, even some of the things that you touch and some of the places you go, that will all affect you, from a mental standpoint as well. So just all positive in. So if I come across any negative situations, I get down, there's a situation, I have to combat that by turning it up, making sure that I surround myself by all positive vibes at all times. So what do you do?
Yeah, so I typically, if I'm ever in like a negative space or anything like that, I go to my support system
Mm.
immediately, because that's that's what my support system's there for. They're there to help me when I'm down and out. There to be there, when I'm happy. When things are going really good. So I was go to my support system first, because that's my support system is probably the most positive it's ever been, for me throughout my entire life. Um, I really just consist of my wife and like a couple of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's really it, because they'll tell me the truth, and they'll let me know. I'm like, hey, look, X, Y, and Z, but this, and this, and say, okay.
Yeah.
So they really kind of help me recalibrate. I'm like, okay, dude, you gotta. If I'm upset, you gotta chill out, go outside, relax. Um, and now I'm like constantly like reminding myself like that I have a mini human being to
Oh
help
yeah.
take
Oh,
care of.
oh yeah. That'll straighten you up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Mm.
that's that's definitely one of the biggest factors, and that's changed things around for me immensely in the past
I don't want to get
like
into.
7 months.
I don't want to get into some of the things that I have done because I'm not proud of it. Although
Yeah.
I'm thankful. And I looked at something today that said, "Thank God that I don't look like what I've been through. Thank
Oh
God
God.
that I don't look like the shit that I've been through." Somebody today told me that I look like I was 29 years old. And the only thing that I could say is thank you, Jesus, because if only you knew
Hey,
some of
you
the
know,
shit.
but you guys, you do look young though. That's true. You do look young.
I'm
Well,
so
you are
thankful.
young.
It's right.
But I,
I tell myself I'm
but
young. People are like, oh, I'm getting old. I'm like, I'm getting young.
but that I can attest to, because if I look like all the crap that I've been through and I put myself through
But
throughout the entire 29 years of life, I look like absolute shit.
but
Too much.
having a family and having somebody to look after will keep you from doing some things. Like my motto was, I may be crazy, but I ain't stupid. I ain't stupid enough to, do something to where it affect my children. So that was my main driving force. And without my kids, man, I probably would have been in some bad situations. There were some times where I was in my moment, but I would sit and think and be like, all right, you have these kids here that you have to take care of and that you have to worry about. So even though you want to go in and you want to go into the 10th power, you need to back up a little bit. You'll just aggravate the situation a little bit, but you won't go all the way in and cause a major disaster. So,
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like even yesterday, actually, I was out playing some basketball, and one of my teammates, he started getting really heated, and I had to pull him aside and told him like, "Hey, man, look, we can't be doing this out here. he's like, I know. I was like, well, if you knew that,
then you won't do it. If you know better, then you'll do better.
Yeah, and so afterwards, he texted our group chat and he apologized and everything. That's how look, man.
That's the one that's gonna have to stay.
To let someone, huh?
I was like, that's the one that's gonna have to stay home after a while.
Oh yeah, but like I told him, like, look here, man. If your mental toughness is not at the point that you will not allow someone who, quite frankly, doesn't really exist,
exactly,
because you just met them,
exactly,
and come and just wreck your world,
mm-hmm.
then you've got to go reevaluate what you're doing before you step on the court with us, because we're not going to stand for that. You got to bring it back down.
Absolutely,
and that's just one thing that he did. It's like I said, it's all about that. That the mindset, the whole concept and idea behind, am I going to let this person come into my life for a mere hour and just destroy everything?
No.
That I've worked on for the past, week, month,
or years, it's
or years.
Like when you realize that you can't control people, places, or things, I'm telling you, life will get so much better. And just realize that this is a person that is outside of you. That person is not you. Because if they were you, you wouldn't be feeling that way and you wouldn't be going back and forth because it would just flow properly. So when you understand that you can't control people, you let it go and you don't engage in that. And you can't control, places, and you damn sure can't control things, because I spoke about it yesterday. The minute that you think that you got control over this car, over this house, over this money, trust and believe that there's a higher power that can shake it up and take all of that stuff away from you at the drop of a dime. So when you know that you are not people, places, and things, and you realize that once you let people, places, and things go and you start to feel so much better within, I say today, take it all away from me. Take all of that shit away from me, because I don't want no problems. Listen, if I can't control this situation that we got going on here, then I need to back up and I need to move away from it. I can't do it. Because let me tell you, trying to control people will get you in a situation, man.
Get you in a bad spot.
Get you in a situation, and people will lie and manipulate, and I'm just going to go along with the plan just to go ahead and make him or her happy for the moment until 6 months from now or 6 years from now, when I want to go back to doing the old thing that I used to do in the beginning. And then now you got a whole bunch of lies and deceit. And listen, that's the type of stuff that you read about on the news and all of that stuff, where someone came home and did something crazy because they realized that someone was playing games with the next door neighbor the whole time.
Yeah. I think there's been a couple of headlines about that actually happening recently too.
Instead of you just telling the person, listen, I'm not feeling this. This is not me, and this is not what I want to do. And to top it off, when people show you who they are, believe them. They told you from day one what they were into. They told you what they were into, and if they didn't, you found them in a place and you tried to clean that shit up and try to make it fix. Stop making people your problems. That was my situation, always trying to clean up and help somebody. Leave that trash exactly where the hell it's at. That's what I say.
No, you're right. That's true, because there's no reason for you to. There's a reason why people say people come with baggage, right? Are you gonna try to help them carry that baggage? You're gonna carry that baggage for them. You're gonna let them do it by themselves. You're gonna assist them.
My thing is, and remember this, everybody, that if you are in that situation, not knocking anybody, because I've been there 3-4 times. When they do the 180 on you, because it will happen eventually, if it's built on lies and deceit and all kinds of BS and it wasn't done right, you stole him from this one, you did that or whatever, you lied to get her to be your best friend and broke up the first friendship and all that stuff, all of this crap happens. Eventually somebody's going to turn around and do the 180 on you. When they do, just got to let it go. Whatever time, whatever energy you put into it, that's just your karma for you doing whatever you did, and let it go. So let it go.
That's the best thing you can do, because the longer you hold on to it,
absolutely,
the more more it starts to consume you and who you are and what you're becoming.
Yeah.
And that doesn't do anything good for you, obviously. But of course, that's the hardest part too. Is that we're emotional beings. We have, like, we're very sentimental, even if people don't like to admit it.
That is so
they don't
true.
want to let go.
Yeah.
You've got to. Mm-hmm. You got to.
Well, we have some real. I told y'all it was going to be deep tonight. Now we go get into some burning questions tonight, which will just flow so well. Burning questions is a segment of the show where I basically flip it and put my guests in a hot seat and ask a different type of question. But this question just flows so well with what we're talking about. So, question I have for you is: do you ever find yourself reverting back to your childish behavior?
Do I find myself? Yes. 100% yes.
Like you find yourself just saying, we ain't going to the gym today. We just gonna sit around and, eat some Cheetos or whatever. I mean, that's just that's one example. I mean, it could be anything.
I think probably one of the most childish things that I found myself doing lately is if I don't have anything that I need to do, I just hop on Netflix or Hulu and I'll just start watching Pokemon.
I feel you on that.
And I feel like the reason I'm doing it is because it was comforting for me at one point.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm doing it again just because it's comfortable for me. It's not a way to cope, but it's just more, well, kind of like a nostalgic feeling. But as for my other childish ways, I'm not gonna lie, I find myself wanting to antagonize people.
One of my childish things that I have to be very careful with is when people would upset me when I was a kid, I would find ways to get back at you. So my mind will go there sometimes, and not that I won't do it, but for a minute my mind will be like, oh, how could I, get back at this, person for this situation here, and I have to catch myself and be like, all right, we're not doing that. We've been there, we've done that. Let's back up. This is childish behavior. This is the way that you used to be back in the day. We ain't gonna do that. But yeah, I would be one of those that would just sit back and just start scheming on ways to let you know who I am. Trust and believe you're going to know not to mess with me after a while. But
yeah, I don't think I've ever got to the point of scheming. I really just sit there and antagonize you in the worst of ways. Not really by talking or anything. I'll just be a smart ass and that'll piss you off enough. And I'll walk away with a smile on my face. I'll just piss you off and I'll just walk away with a smile on my face, knowing that you ain't going to do anything to me.
I would scheme so much that it would be pretty scary because I'm like, yo, this is reality. We could actually do this. we got this. So, man, just a very unhealthy to think like that. So
yeah, it's great for business, but it's not great for me.
So if you could go ahead and let us all know where we can follow you at, I appreciate you for coming on, and I just want to let everybody know that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and between yesterday with Carnisha and you coming in here today, man, this is just great stuff to kick off the month of May, giving people everything that they need to know about mental health and staying on track. So I definitely do appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you for having me on again. It's been a while, but I've always loved coming on here, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Always a good time. But yeah, so you guys can follow me on Instagram, Lacree17, and I believe it's the same thing on TikTok. I haven't started posting anything on TikTok, but my wife keeps telling me that I need to.
Yeah, you should. I think your style and everything will work well for TikTok. They need people like you out there.
I'll I'll get on there. I might even flex my acting chops a little bit.
Yeah. I feel you on that. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming through. And of course, when you get time, I know you're busy now. Um, maybe we'll have you come back on in a couple months or so.
Yeah, it sounds great. Baby boy will be a bit older. I'll probably be 30 by then, so we'll see.
All right. Take care. Have a good rest of your evening and take care now.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right.
Have a good
See ya.
evening.
All right, y'all. So there you go, Mr. Jacquees Washington, my friend, coming in the building. Now he's from Texas. So that's great. We were able to move on over to Texas tonight. Man, what a great conversation that we had tonight. And I want to really touch base about this whole mental health awareness and to bring it back together. Um, People will look at you different when you decide to change your life and get it together. Trust and believe that it's not going to be easy. And sometimes your mind will trick you a little bit and be like, am I making a mistake? I'm getting my life together and I'm doing things a little bit differently, but the people around me, they're not really feeling me right now and they're making me question who I am. It's a trip, it's a process, but sometimes you got to break ties and you got to clean things up and you have to leave some people behind. You can't take everybody with you. And one thing that I take very seriously is when it comes to this whole mental health awareness type stuff, because for so many times my mind was not in a healthy mindset, and I damn near drove myself crazy trying to keep the wrong people in my life. I will repeat that one more time again. I damn near drove myself crazy trying to keep the wrong people in my life. So, because I wanted to keep you in my life, damn near I'm the one that's going crazy. And trust and believe that some of those people that may be in your life, that's what they've come in here to do, is to drive you crazy, drive you to drink, drive you to go insane. And they'll be sitting back somewhere, sitting there chilling, saying, yeah, look at this person, look at that person, look at them, they lost it, they cracked, they did this, they did that, and they did that. Meanwhile, they are the whole source of the problem and the whole situation that's going on. So it was a mental trip for me for a very long time. Like, damn, why every single time that I see you, I want to go to the next level? Hmm. That is a sign of unhealthiness. That is a sign of having some sort of mental breakdown. But I had to look around and say, my situation, my problem is you. So let me clean up my situation. Let me get myself the hell up out of here and let me love myself, because I love me a little bit more than you do, because you are clearly showing me and telling me that you don't give a fuck about me. Because if you did, you wouldn't be pushing those trigger buttons to make me go to the next level. So you might have some triggers out there. You might have some people out there that might not be in your best interest. Don't let them trick you into thinking that you might be the problem. You might be the problem, but you are the problem because you didn't have the strength and you don't have the courage right now to get up and remove some of those people out of your life that might be pushing you to that level. It might be your job. So simple. And I know it sounds tough and it sounds rough to say this. Quit. Okay. If you know damn well your boss is making you damn near want to lose it and go and do something that's going to put you under the jail, you really going to risk it? You won't continue to go back to work and let somebody push you and disrespect you? Either you do it or life is going to do it for you. And that's just one thing that happened. Like, either you're going to fix it or something in your life is really going to fix it for you, because we're not meant to sit here and go through some of these things and have some of these mental breakdowns all of our lives. Like, yes, they're going to put some pressure on us. Yes, there's going to be some pressure to us to figure it out ourselves. But if we can't figure it out on ourselves, trust and believe that life is really going to come around the corner and give it to you. People, places, things. This is the reason why there's so much mental illness and mental situations and mental breaks down, because sometimes we have the wrong people in our lives. We put ourselves in some jacked up situations. Or how about we put on too much? We want to have that car. We want to have that lifestyle. We want to have this. We want to have that. So we pour on and we pour on and we pour on. And now you're somewhere looking miserable. Now you can't cope. You can't pay your bills. So now you're depressed. And now you're angry and you're mad at the whole world. Just touching a little surface here. just giving you a little bit of what we getting ready to go through here, a little bit of what we've been through. Listen, man, just so passionate about some of the things that I've been through in my life, and trust and believe once I started to get it together and get rid of some of these things and clean it up. I don't care if you don't like me anymore. I don't care if you want to say all of the things that you had to say. I had a story to tell and I had to come out here and I had to do it. Rather me tell the story than you go ahead and go and get it twisted and all and jacked up. So I had to come out here and give it to people the way it really is. Like, I'm going to tell my story. Like, listen, yeah, I did it. I wasn't happy. The reason why I did it is because I was living unhealthy. And had I lived in a healthy mindset and knew better, I would have cleaned up this shit and got rid of you a long time ago. I would have left that job a long time ago. I wouldn't have let some of the things that you said to me bother me and make me step outside of my character. Because all of that stuff was outside of me and had nothing to do with me. All right, y'all. We did it tonight. I want to say thank you so much for coming through. People out there on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever you're at, YouTube, DLive, Twitch, thank you so much. Please go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, tag your friends. Let them know. I'm sure somebody will get this message tonight and it will be such a breakthrough experience for them. I have to give thanks to my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give y'all the 411 podcast one more time in life. Without him, none of this would be possible. I wouldn't even be here right now. I did not even know that I would be a live streaming podcaster. Never even imagined it. This is what I talk about when life hits you upside the head and say, oh, you don't want to change? I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we go ahead and switch some things up and make this thing happen. Since you ain't going to do it, I'm going to help you along and I'm going to do it for you. Got to give thanks and got to give credit where credit is due. And of course, I need to thank each and every one of you out there for continuously supporting and rocking and rolling with me along this journey. I got you. I got every single person. Listen, I've been there before and I'm still in some of these situations. So we're going to continue to evolve and go through this 411 podcast the way that we know how to do it best. We have some more deep conversations coming tomorrow. But we got reading between the wines, so we're going to wind down, and it's getting deep tomorrow. I'm telling you, you really need to come in tomorrow. Reading between the wines, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Sathya coming in tomorrow, and she's going to share her story, and there's some more. Listen, you really want to come back tomorrow. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please set your reminders and everything that you need to do. And again, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much to Mr. Jacquees Washington for sharing his story and sharing his insight. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, 8 p.m., reading between the wines. Have a good night. Take care.